Now, in the last video, we talked about the dangers of being friends with your employees, but there is a healthy relationship that leaders can have with their employees. Let's talk about it. I'm Adrian from Adrian's Avenue, and I talk about things that are rich, relatable, and relevant that will help you become the leader that others want to follow. Let's jump right in. Today, we're going to cover 5 ways that will help you maintain a healthy relationship between you and your employees. Now, the first thing we're going to discuss is your level of maturity and your level of clarity. You as the leader have to be crystal clear on why you're there and why they hired you to work with that team. If there is any confusion whatsoever, it's because the leader led the team to believe something that was not true. So you have to get it down in your mind as you're working with the folks, why you're there, and be crystal clear on your position and your posture when working with the team. Now, once you are clear in your mind of your position and your posture, you have to let the folks know why you're there and make sure they're clear on it also. And you do this not by just telling them, but in your actions. Everything you have to do needs to lead back to you being the leader of that team. They are relying on you and they are counting on you to be their leader. They know their position and you need to know yours. The next thing you want to look at is your decisions. You want to make sure your decisions reflect the benefit of the team as well as the benefit of the company. The decisions sometimes will be hard, will be difficult, but sometimes you need to negotiate on behalf of your team. Let's say, for example, you're asked to give some folks up for a special project. Well, you know if you give your very best producers up that your team will go lacking. So you want to be aware of that and make sure you don't give the people that you need to make the team function and still produce as a team. Another thing, in that same instance, you don't want to give up your very lowest producers either, because the company may not get accomplished what they're trying to accomplish. So sometimes it's a balancing act. Sometimes timing has to do with it, but make sure your team is aware that you are pulling for them. You're negotiating on their behalf, and it just builds a stronger relationship between you and your team when they know this. The third thing I want you to think about is that when you have a team, all relationships are not equal. There will be some folks on the team that are closer to you than others. There will be some folks on the team that keep their personal lives totally to themselves and only tell you about things when you need to know. Respect their privacy and respect that's the way they want things to be. But for the ones who like to share with you, want to tell you about their family and what's going on, by all means, be open to them. But all relationships are not created equal. I can remember a time that some folks on the team, if something were to happen, such as if their daughter or son got married, I was invited to the wedding. If someone was in the hospital, if it was a child, a husband, or a wife, I was really expected to come and visit them because they felt like that close to me that they wanted me to be there. And so out of respect for them and what they respected me for, I would do this. If I were invited to a wedding and I had the time to go, I would definitely show up to that. But every relationship on your team is not created equal, and it won't happen like that for everybody on the team. Now, to keep our relationship healthy, I'd like for you to hit that like button and that subscribe button so that you can remain up to date on all the information as it becomes available to you. Next up, let's talk about the Facebook friends. As we know, Facebook is social media, Instagram is social media, and you will have someone on your team that wants to be a Facebook friend with you or an Instagram friend with you. I had a boss, and his position on it is, I will never invite you or ask you to be my friend, but if you ask me to become friends with you, I'm open to it. And I took that same stance. I believe in that 100%. I don't care who you are, because Facebook is a social media platform. Instagram is social media. It's social media. It's not personal media. So what I put on Facebook and Instagram will never be personal to the point where I wouldn't be able to tell my team in a team meeting. So everything is out there. Everything is open that I put on Facebook. For the folks that put personal in-depth things on there, I don't do that. And so that's their choice. And you have to kind of monitor who you become friends with if you're going to do something like that. So my stance on Facebook friends is, if they invite me to be one of their friends, I'll say yes, but I will never step out and invite them as their leader to be a friend because I don't want them to feel a different way about our relationship if they decide not to accept my friendship. Now, the last thing that we're going to talk about, and this is something that every leader pretty much runs into, and is the favoritism type of conversation. It will come up eventually with your folks if they see someone that's becoming closer to you than maybe they are. All of a sudden, there's a favoritism thing out there, and this is something that I think you need to address immediately. Whether it's true or not, you have to examine yourself to see, are you playing favoritisms to certain people on the team and maybe not to others? So make sure you examine yourself, and if the answer is no, go ahead and address the issue. It's happened to me before. Some people just tend to get closer to me. They come back and visit me in the office more than others, and it appears that there's a favoritism thing going on, but I don't treat anyone any differently than anyone else. Now, I will have the conversation, however. The favorite types of people, the favorite kinds of employees I like, and those are the ones that come to work, get the work done to the highest level that they possibly can, do the best job that they possibly can, and don't create issues, unnecessary issues for me as their leader. Those are my favorite kind of people, and anybody on the team is welcome to become one of those. Well, there you have it. We've covered 5 things that will help you maintain a healthy relationship with your employees. Now, these are not all inclusive, but I did include the video that I taped before this to help you with being friends with your employees, the dangers of being friends with your employees. So take a look at that, and the combination of the 2 videos should help you maintain a really healthy relationship with your employees and win with your employees.